Alright, what's up? This is Domas. Welcome back to the Walking and Talking channel. I'm in a forest again. Beautiful trees around, and thought I'll try to make it a habit again to post every day, because I've been starting to see some people interested in the topic of Schizotypal Personality Disorder, and I thought, why not? Like, I should share more about it, And lately, last couple of days has been like so intense, heavy on my mind, like even the happiness, like I'm feeling a lot of happiness, a lot of like excitement about what's coming next, because I feel like it might be that some good things are coming my way. Possibly, maybe not. Maybe I'm just making stuff up in my head. But then again, we always make stuff up in our heads. So it's normal. But that stuff gets me happy. Like, I go high and then I crash and start going low, and like that anxiety, like I see how I am causing myself anxiety. I don't know about you, whether you have this disorder or personality type, as I like to call it, but I feel a lot of anxiety, like these highs and lows, and depending on what's happening in my life, And sometimes I think like, oh, only if something good happened, I'll just be fine. Only if I met a person that is like fits me, like only if I like earn enough money, only if I have a car, only if I, and that gives you a high and then gives you a low. But like with this disorder, you don't even need like anything huge to make you like really start working yourself up in your own head, Like, I met a person recently, like we're having a really nice experience, like a lot of similarities, like a lot of things like aligning, and seemingly like everything's amazing, And out of that amazement, I like start creating shit in my head, like how things could be, like what could happen, like da 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 da. I started like texting and shit, and like just like creating all of this stuff that's like, okay, it's positive, true, but it's still stuff that you're making up in your head. You're not like, it's like going in this forest right now. I'm like just following random paths, and now I like ended up at a path that the path ends, So I'm like, right, I have to turn around. And it's the same thing with this excitement, with this like energy that I'm like not sure what to do with it, So at first I was like, yo, I'm just like excited. I need to share this. Like, I need to like, just like be as hyped as I can. Like, and then like the crash comes, or like I write some shit and then I'm like regretting it. I feel like ashamed of what I'm saying, and I'm like fucking causing anxiety for another person, and I'm like I need to chill, like I need to learn how to chill. But that's what I'm thinking with like odd ways of thinking, maybe, like that's relates to that trait, I guess. It's like, I don't think it's even odd ways. I think it's just thinking and overthinking. Like, it doesn't matter, like if I like go to the gym, like it doesn't turn it off, So that's why I think like people with stpd, they should really engage themselves in something creative. So your mind is not creating shit in this world, but it's creating shit in another world, on the paper, in a computer, on a tablet, in a song, on a tape, video, whatever. Like you can be as crazy as you want in that medium, but like in this medium where real people are involved, where real life is happening, sometimes you can cause pain. And even if it's not another person, you can cause pain for somebody else, So I'm thinking just create, maybe I'm thinking like that because I'm a creative, but it doesn't, you don't have to be a creative to create, You can just take find sticks and stick them together, stick them together. That's interesting. And like, you don't need to make anything beautiful. Like, that's why I don't like that word art, because art associates with something beautiful for me. And it's like, it's not always beautiful. Like, art doesn't have to be beautiful. Life is not it's not beautiful sometimes. Sometimes it's amazing, but a lot of the times it's painful. And that pain is beautiful too, But you can create out of any emotion, out of any feeling, but it's so hard because you have to work with your inner selves, with your inner cells and selves, like your inner self. Because it's hard to sit down. It's hard to sit down and write stuff down. It's easier to go and find somebody and just talk and chit chat and small talk. And it's like, what's the point of that? You're just wasting air, wasting time, wasting energy. But when you're having a conversation with yourself, like really deep conversation, and you have something to show for it, you have recorded that on a piece of paper, like you have made a painting, you've made something that you can look at and remember how you felt, and maybe that's what you needed to do to like exercise that feeling out of your body, like I'm just sharing my experience as a person with STPD. Like, I don't know, maybe you have similar experiences. Like, when I'm excited, like I can't sit still, Sometimes it's even better that I'm sad, to do something, Like if I'm sad, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to do anything, and I'm like, okay, perfect time to make some art. I don't have to be anywhere, So sometimes sadness is a good way, it's a good point of reference to start creating from, Life is interesting. I'm like walking around these paths that I haven't taken before. It's beautiful, It's like, why do I not go? Like sometimes we're so enticed. I don't know where these words are coming from. I don't even know if they're right to be used, but we're so enticed with our patterns and routines and doing things the same way that we're so like afraid to change something. So it's not like we're not like scared and we don't feel uncomfortable. Like we're scared to go on a different route because we're so used to the same route because it makes you feel comfortable. But then you take a new route and you find new things and you find new ways of dealing with stuff, Like, it's wonderful. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking lots of rubbish, but I'm feeling a lot last couple days. A lot. And I don't know how you deal with your emotions. So if you feel like it, tell it in the comment section. I want to know. Because these thoughts like to run around. And I realize like I need to shut up. Like I need to stop talking or talk in a safe space where nobody else is involved. Because I might cause some damage or might say something wrong or might make another person feel a certain way, you know? So like maybe I'm afraid that I'm like sick, you know? I'm afraid that I'm like a bad person and I'll cause harm without meaning to, you know? Like I'm afraid that I don't know myself, you know? If you don't know yourself, like your shadow, you know, your dark sides, your whatever, like that shadow can hurt others. But when you start to get to know it, you know, it's like, you know how dark you can be, you know how dark you can create your art. I met this kid yesterday during skate school, and he brought me his paintings to show because I asked him. He said he came up to me. He's like, I know that you paint, and I was like, yeah. I was like, do you paint? He's like 10 years old. He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Bring me your pictures next time. He brought me these pictures. He was like, I'll draw monsters. You know, man, these monsters were fucking scary. Like, I was like, where did you get this inspiration from? He's like, a lot of things. And they were like really like skinny, like some parts were like unnaturally skinny. And for a kid like that is like to draw that kind of stuff. I was like, dude, like what's going on in your head, you know? But of course it's a kid and he likes monsters and, you know, but they were like really like horror. If it was a real being, like it would be fucking scary. It was like a monster with his mouth open and inside his mouth there's another monster, like another head, you know, and the teeth are like scary and arms are like super skinny and the shape of the body is like super creepy, you know. I was like, dude, if you made these, and then he makes stickers too. So he's like, yeah, I made stickers and they sold out at my school or something. I was like, perfect, man. I was like, do these monsters that you show me on the paper, do them on the sticker, and I'm telling you, like, it's gonna go off because it's really scary. Like for a 10-year-old kid that's like really talented. And I don't know why I get along with kids, like especially creative kids. Like we could just spend hours and hours like just talking and creating stuff up, because kids aren't, you know, kids are kids. Kids are allowed to be crazy, you know. And me, I'm like, as an adult, as a 34-year-old, being crazy is kind of dangerous. Like people might see you as like weird or strange, you know. But if you're an artist, or if people see you as an artist, don't necessarily think that you are, more stuff is allowed, you know. So anyway, I'm not gonna talk a lot today. Got other stuff to do, but let me know what your thoughts are on like overthinking and creating stuff in real world versus creating stuff in a imaginary or like creative world, because I know it can be difficult to separate those two. And I experienced that today with such a high anxiety level that I haven't felt that in ages. So I was like, right, I need to chill the fuck out. And then I did. But I had to talk to people, had to be reassured that I'm that everything's okay. I'm not, you know, I'm not scaring people and shit. So, but I'm super grateful for you guys. Like, maybe it was like a little psychosis, you know? It does feel like a psychosis sometimes when you're like so hyped, you know? You're like, like fucking everything's amazing. And it's like, oh, we could do this and I can do that and then da 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 da. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, just like chill. But it's so easy to tell yourself to chill, but it's so hard to do, you know? But that's why we create, I guess, out of that feeling of being unable to cope and be in this world like a normal human being, you know? Like, I even went to the gym, like, it didn't help. It didn't drain my energy. I'm still like on edge, but that's why I love AA, you know? I go there and I'm like, peace, you know? People that understand me are around me and we share these same emotions, same like confusion with the world. Like, because our nervous system is like different to others doesn't mean that we're not, you know, allowed to be like other human beings and normal human beings, you know. And just because we're thinking in different ways, it's like that doesn't mean that we're wrong or we're crazy, or like same with stpd. Like, you're not crazy. Like, schizotypal isn't schizophrenic, and even schizophrenic who understands that he's a schizophrenic, to me that's already, you know, half of schizophrenia gone. If you're taking your medication, or even if you're not and you're managing with it somehow, you know, maybe you can recognize and understand when an episode is coming, you know, and you can warn others or warn yourself somehow. I don't know how, but anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for interacting. I really appreciate it. Share your experience, and yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how you cope with this personality type or disorder, however you want to call it. So, hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful night, beautiful morning, beautiful evening. Enjoy your food, enjoy your friends. Life is precious. It can end any moment, and whatever's given to you is given to you, and appreciate it. You know, do the best that you can to be a great human being, and do you. You know, that's how you're gonna be great, and people will see it only later, but you're gonna have the enjoyment of just being you and not somebody else. So take care, and hopefully see you in the next one. Much love, and maybe send some questions if you want me to answer them, and we can talk about it. Much love, peace.